I started drawing this tree maybe 10 minutes ago. And one of the things that I realized is that I am looking for instant gratification while drawing this tree. Especially because it's not that easy, first of all, to draw a tree, and it takes a lot of patience to stick to it. And I realized that I don't have that amount of patience in order to finish such a complicated tree. So I am totally unsure what the result will be, but I still keep doing it. Because once I let it happen, once I let my feelings keep dictating what they want to dictate, I realize that they are disappearing and not that strong anymore. Which helps a lot. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to progress not only in painting, but in anything else in my life. Once I heard or read a beautiful Buddhist advice: if you don't like doing something, keep on doing it just for 5 minutes. Just for 5 minutes. If you see that you still don't like it, just do it one more time for 5 minutes. And if you still don't like doing that, maybe do it for just one more minute. Let's see what happens. See if that works for you. If not, then maybe you can do it some other time. Or you might want to try it again. Just give yourself a chance to try it a few times until you're sure that you really want to give up. Another thing that I realized while painting is that the trees are quite wavy. They have some specific pattern. It keeps on repeating in an interesting way. like a human body. We also have these interesting patterns of moving left and right and left and right and so on. The pattern keeps repeating in a cyclical way. Now I'm really happy with the result so far. I don't know if you see it on the phone, but this is my result so far. So far I like it, except one of the branches which don't look that natural to me. Well, let's see. Let's see what becomes out of it. I let it happen. So I feel that not only the tree is branching out, but me as well while painting it. Now you may ask, what does that mean? First of all, another pattern that we show with the trees is that our brain neurons are also branching out, exactly like these tree branches. Here and there. In a lot of intricate ways, which are quite hard to trace sometimes. Oh, this tree looks very interesting. There are things that I don't like, but in general I like it. I think I wasn't that good in my childhood, and as I'm growing up, I'm becoming better and better, in my opinion. Another thing that I realize now, just now at this moment, is that it's really hard sometimes to trace the tree or the tree branch back to its root, where it all started from. Where did we all start our journey? You might talk about evolution, you might talk about origin of species and so forth. But where does that come from? Or where do they go? I see here I overworked. I did more than I should. And it doesn't look that natural as before. But again, let's see where that takes me to. Maybe I can make it a bit simpler. Yeah, this way it's a bit better. So if you look at it in one way, the tree could be quite a mess. Full of branches, chaotic leaves. Going here and there. Hard to notice where they all come from and what they want to do. And first of all, why are they branching in such a beautiful way? You know, they could just branch out in certain shapes, you could say. Just go straight. Or they could be very similar, doing similar things. But no. Somehow the trees decided they want to be beautiful. They want to be complex and simple at the same time. Now, who knows what science will discover later. I realized when I let it go and try to be more spontaneous and not too harsh with the trees, looks better. This does look better when I'm not trying too much. It's not about copy pasting the tree. It's not about finding the right answers. It's about letting it show you what it can do, what it can show you. Trees are trees. Are trees. Artists, artists are trees. You could say that maybe. Now I'm adding extras to this tree. By extras I mean extra things that come out of my mind, not from the tree's mind. But still I like this tree. This tree is very beautiful. It knows what it's doing. Not like me. Running here and there. Standing in one place. Maybe its soul is traveling. Who knows? Who knows what kind of souls trees have? No one detected. However, some people do feel the soul of the trees. There is a tale from some African tribe a story of a river and a tree. So once there was a river flowing, running here and there with free spirit. And there was a tree who looked at this river with amazement and envy, wishing to be like that river, able to travel wherever she wants. I said she because this flexibility is like a woman, like feminine energy, more free, less sturdy than a man. And perhaps tree could be masculine. But there are feminine trees as well. I don't know about this one. So, this tree looks at this river with envy and tells the river, "Oh river, I wish I could be like you. Free, running wherever I want. My soul meeting other animals, other beings, traveling forests, and not stuck in one place." I wish I could walk at night, meet with other trees, humans sing, cry, do all kind of things like you. And the river says, well, it's true that you are standing in one place. But throughout my journeys, I have met other trees who are able to travel to other places. Yes, but they were old trees. And I know you can also do that. And the tree asks the river, how can I do that? And the river responds, there are two things that you have to do in order to roam freely, so your soul can travel. One of those you have already accomplished. You did it by being a shelter for other beings when they needed some rest, and they found a shelter under your trunk. The tree asks, what is the second thing? And the river says, embrace the uncertainty. And the tree takes his time thinking about this answer. He's thinking and thinking how it will be able to embrace uncertainty, and how it will enable him to roam freely. And one day, in the middle of the night, he finally becomes able to get out of his trunk, and he starts roaming the forest. And he becomes the roar of a lion, the sound of leaves, The sound of river waves. It walks together with other trees. Dances with the fire. From that time on, he was called by this tribe as a watcher of the forest. Now, this story is also about us. How rarely we are embracing the uncertainties in our lives and letting things just happen. We forgot how dangerous life is. We forgot how beautiful life is. We forgot what it takes to live life fully, and invented such ideas as self-realization, fulfillment, and so on, when we are actually already realized. Except we are too busy to discover this, to let ourselves think like this tree and be able to embrace this uncertainty that is always available for us to access. And be part of us. Now this tree is very branched, sophisticated, and becoming more and more. It's telling a poem, becoming a poetry. Poetry sounds good to me. It's a poetry of a tree. Now the question is, should I continue drawing it? Should I make the shadows out of it? Should I paint it? That's what I don't know yet. Because when I came here, my initial idea was to paint with watercolors. But so far I like this tree as it is. Simple, unfinished. Kind of unfinished story. But this is the beauty of it, in its simplicity. Perhaps I could continue it much later, or a bit later. So far I like it as it is, and I would let it stay a bit to tell me more of its story. What is interesting is that as I kept drawing, the previous sketches became more blurry, more unprecise or imprecise. Like our life, we are in this continuum. While we are becoming more rigid, more branched out, we forget more our past, and our past becomes more invisible, untraceable. So in that sense, I also, another thing to learn from this tree is who I am right now, and how this present moment is actually future of the future. How this present is actually a look into the future, but through the future. This future being the tree itself, the real being, perhaps with a soul, looking at me and dictating me the painting, showing me how to draw, how to paint. Another thing I really remember vividly is the task that was given to me by my drawing teacher back in Azerbaijan in the year of 2000 or 2002. The task was to draw a tree. Not just a tree, but a painting of a tree on one of the books or whatever. So I had to draw that tree, and I did. I tried my best to draw this tree, but once I showed and presented this tree to my teacher, and my father was also with me, he just looked at it and didn't present any specific comment. So he wanted to see something in me, perhaps if I'm capable to do something or manage to draw this tree. But he didn't say exact reason, what was the goal and how was the result, if it's good or bad. So it was very neutral reaction by him. So it's still a puzzle for me. Did he want to see my patience? Did he want to see my skills of improvisation? Or did he just want to see how I can draw a simple or complex tree? And it actually looked like this one, now I realize. It looked like a sycamore tree. So now I'm looking back at it after 20 years. And maybe this is the tree. Yeah, that was the reason of this riddle. To look at myself in 20 years. So this tree is like a time capsule inside me that I will keep looking at, and it will puzzle me throughout my life. Now I thought you would enjoy this view from some remote place